Hello guys, welcome to the Northfield Farm YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk to you all about picanha. So what we're going to do in today's video is we're going to talk to you and demonstrate everything to do with picanha. Just coming back from out in the field, checking on the lambs that we've got up in the village. But back to the main point, we're going to be making a video all about picanha and where it comes from on the cow and how we butcher it and what it is basically. So now I'm just heading back, oh, another car. Now I'm just heading back to the farm where we've got our butchery and processing area where I've got a big lump of cow waiting, and we're gonna break it down and show you the picanha. There's my brother, Leo. Say hello. Beef bros in the whip, let's do it. So here what we've got is, well, we call this a roaster in the industry, and this is basically the lower part of the back of a cow going into where the bottom of the back becomes the bum and sort of arches out, and that's where the rump is. So just take this off and get it on the block. So yeah, basically what we've got in this section here where you see the ribs, that's basically the forearm. Where you've got the ribeye inside, it's where Côte de Boeuf tomahawks come from. Got sirloin all along this side here. You've got fillet on the inside here. And then this on the end is the rump, which is where the picanha is. And the picanha is this muscle that just sits on top here. What I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna take my steak knife, cut down here, just at the turn of the hip, saw through to take that rump off. Now basically we can see the rump here. Like I said earlier, we in the UK we generally just recognise the rump as this whole section, and we tend to cut steaks from it. But the picanha is a single muscle from this whole rump section, and that's this one just here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my boning knife and I'm just going to loosen up this seam that attaches the picanha to the rest of the rump. And that's the thing with good butchery. Most of the time what you want to be doing is not actually cutting meat, but cutting the space between the meat where the muscles connect. So that's the picanha removed. Now what we've got to do is tidy it up. So you've got this dark face here where it's been exposed to the air from the aging, and then you've got silver skin on here that wants to be trimmed up before we can cook it, and this fat just wants to be trimmed up so that it's a nice shape. So it's just a gradual process, peeling away what's on the outside to get what we want underneath. The thing that makes the picanha so special is it's got this lovely cap of fat on the top, which is going to melt and sort of render down when cooking. That adds a lot of flavour, and you've just got this really consistent texture in the grain of the meat that makes it really nice and tender. That is providing that we prepare it properly and it's sliced properly when cooked. And the most important thing when cooking it is to cut across the grain. That's going to leave it nice and tender. Just take away that aged edge. So what we've got now is a lovely, clean, nicely trimmed picanha. And what a lot of people do is they'll actually cook this as a single piece on the barbecue or in the oven, in the pan. And they'll do it as a single piece like that. These normally come between sort of 800 grams, a kilo, occasionally 1.5 kilos if you've got a really large cow. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut it into steaks, so it's gonna cook a little bit quicker. And it obviously makes it easy for people who don't wanna eat a whole picanha all at once. So a lot of you will be wondering why this meat is so dark on the outside. Shouldn't it all be bright red and super fresh like it is on the inside? The answer is no. If you want to find out why, you can click on our next video, which is going to be dry aging and what it's all about. So now what we're going to do is we're going to chop this into smaller picanha steaks. And the most important thing when doing that is to cut across the grain. As you can see, you've got the fibers of the muscle that are traveling in this direction, and it's important to cut across them to basically break the fibers up, which means when you're eating it, you're going to be basically pulling it apart, so it's going to be lovely and tender. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take this edge off here, so we're going to have nice, straight, clean steaks. Don't worry, I won't waste that. That'll go into mince or burgers. And then I'm just going to portion this into nice, thick picanha steaks. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to barbecue it. So now it's time to get these bad boys on the barbecue. So all we're going to do is start off with a lovely little bit of sea salt and cake it on, because some of it will come off when we drop it on the barbecue, so you've got to be fairly liberal with that. And I just do salt at the beginning and then pepper at the end. So now these are going to go on. I'm going to give these guys about 2 minutes aside, with a little bit of time on the fat, which is very important. I'm going to have them nice and rare. There we are, that's the first 2 minutes. Turn these babies over. Yeah. So you want to get your barbecue or your pan, if you're doing these in the pan at home, super duper hot as you can get them. So you get that lovely char on the outside. It's going to lock in all the flavour on the inside. Let's set that for another 2 minutes. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give each of them a bit of time just on the fat, just to sear that up and get it all rendered. And we'll just let them sit for a couple of minutes. So now that we've cooked, what we're going to do is we're just going to let these rest for a couple of minutes. It's super important, the resting time, pretty much as important as the farming, the husbandry, the butchery, the cooking. The resting is equally important, because you can cook a steak as well as you like, but if you don't let it rest, it's going to end up being chewy. So we leave that for a couple of minutes and then we're going to slice. So now we've rested, it's time to slice. There we go. That's looking lovely. We've still got a little bit of pink on the inside. All that fat's nicely rendered. Super juicy. Yeah, that's beautiful. Last job, pepper on top. Well, let's see. Super good. So I figured it'd be a bit biased for me to just give you my judgment, so I've gathered a tasting panel around here and they're all going to try a bit and tell us what we think.
You're supposed to chew it, Captain.
Yeah, very nice.
Oh yeah. Lovely.
It's only fair if the cameraman gets to try a bit as well.
There you go.
Possibly the best steak I've ever had. Guys, go and buy Picanha steak today. Go to the shops, go to northfieldfarm.com, go buy it. It is delicious.
So that's it for Picanha steak. My name's Dom, this is Northfield Farm. Please like and subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time in the next video.